Hello, welcome back. This is Jeff Byers, and this is ANI 150, and this is Module 9, where we're going to be modeling a low-poly sci-fi weapon. This is going to be Part 1, and this will be a 3-part series. We're going to go ahead and do the low-poly modeling and start the high-poly modeling, and then we're going to continue on from Part 1 to Part 2, which is going to bring us into finishing the high poly weapon. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and texture and render in module 11 the sci-fi high poly weapon, and that'll be our last piece. And hopefully you guys will have fun with this one. I know it was a lot of fun to create. So basically, this is going to be very short and sweet, meaning that this is a 3-part series, so Module 9, 10, and 11 will work as one. And we'll have 3 parts. One's going to start with the low poly block out. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to block out a low poly gun, how you get started with doing a block out, and then you add all the pieces to it by extracting those pieces directly from the shell. So I'm going to show you that method. And so this should be a lot of fun, and I think you'll learn a lot from these video tutorials that create a sci-fi. Now, this isn't just a simple sci-fi gun. It's pretty complex. I want you to go ahead and make sure you read all the objectives in the course assignment. Now, we start off with a this is the finished high poly. Now, you're not going to get this far with part 1. What I've done is I've divided it up into 2 parts. One is going to be low poly, and then we're going to get halfway through the high poly modeling. Basically, we're going to high poly model these pieces here, and then the handle's a little more work involved in that. But basically, you're just going to be doing a low poly and then high poly model, and baking all the high poly information onto the low poly. So you're going to get a real good taste of that part of it with the hard surface modeling. And we got all this other stuff here, the UI, which I'm sure you're tired of looking at, but you can just skip that if you're pretty comfortable with the user interface now. You should be anyway. Course assignment, and here's our reference. So make sure you download the reference. And if for some reason you cannot download it, this happens with Canvas. I don't know why, but the zip doesn't seem to be found, so I have to reload it. So let me know if that happens, if you can't reload it or find it. Okay. And this is just reminds you how to put your reference image in to Maya. You can skip that if you know how to do that. And then of course our lessons start here, and we're going to have lessons 1 through 9. So make sure you save a lot. Make sure you save while you're actually creating this work. And I would save every 10 to 15 minutes. Okay? Alright, so it takes you basically through lessons 1 through 3, which are not that hard to do. It takes you through how I block out the image into a nice shape, into that particular shape. And that's basically your foundation to the rest of the modeling, is that low poly shape. And then I show you how to take that low poly and then extract these pieces from the object, and we start building all these little pieces that make up the gun itself, or the weapon. So all the way through 9, we stop at 9. Now, you're not going to have a complete weapon, obviously we only take you so far because there's 20 of these videos. And so I broke it up between parts 1 and parts 2. Alright, so just to kind of let you know that your gun will not look like this yet. We have a lot more of the other process, but I wanted to show you what you're heading towards and what it should look like. And you want nice, smooth, hard surface pieces that reflect what the actual gun looks like. Right here, we're just going to bring this to life. We start off with a concept piece, and then we're bringing it into 3D, which is really, really cool. Again, just congratulating you guys that if you can make it this far. Understand again that the videos that you see, basically, especially this one right here, just make sure you understand that you're not going to get this far. It's not going to look like this, but I still want you to watch this video because it shows you how I want your screenshots to be done. It shows you how I want you to do your screenshots, how to render your pieces that you need out. So you got to watch this video. You just got to understand yours won't look like this. Okay, it won't be as developed as this. Okay. So I understand that too, because when I grade you, I'm not going to be looking for this. I'm going to be looking for basically, you know, the low poly with the pieces that you got to this point. And that's what I'm going to be looking for. You get all the way through to module 9, and I know where that is and what the gun should look like, so make sure you have all that done. If not, you know, that'll be points off your grade. Again, you know, you guys can read all this. Make sure you read how I'm going to grade you, because now this is not 80 points. This is going to be 40 points. This will be basically 20, 30, and 40. So I don't know what happened here. This is from the summer, so don't worry about this. Won't be 80 points. It'll be 40 points. And again, just to let you know, I wrote it down here. The Turn-In Instructions video tutorial is an example of the completed high poly model of the sci-fi weapon. The reason why this is because we have a condensed summer and we had to do all this in 1 week, believe it or not. We had to do all of this work in 1 week. So that was kind of torture for the students. But you know, the nice saving grace for that is they're usually students that take a summer course, they just take one, so they don't have anything else they have to do. So that worked out fine. Most of the students, they had no problem getting that done. And it will, you know, it will take you about 8 hours to get this part done. So 2 hours a day throughout the week it's pretty easy. You guys can do that. So just understand what you're looking at is a finished piece. So just understand yours will not be that far, as long as it's as far as I take you through on video 9 all the way through. You're good to go. Just put it together the way I want to in here, and you're good to go. One thing I will say, that if you decide to do smoothing on any of your pieces, you must duplicate and save a copy of your low poly pieces before you smooth. You're required to do that. If you don't, you're going to have a real hard time moving forward. Okay, you have to have low poly pieces, so please duplicate your stuff all the time. Put it in layers or save it out. And do not smooth until the very end. Only when you render do you smooth. Okay? Alright? And the thing is, you got to understand that when we go into, when you continue with lesson 10 in module 10, you are going to need those low poly pieces, okay, to complete things. So make sure you understand that right at the get-go. Make sure you have your first and last name on every file. And here's your deliverables and your turn-in structure. And you guys know how to do all that stuff. So, again, if it says some other module, so right here it says module 3, just dismiss that. And also dismiss that this is completely finished. You only get about halfway through with a high poly. You'll get about half of this stuff done. For this module. But just when you're watching the video, this is more of how I want you to put how to do your screenshots, how to do the right camera work, how to get your renders done. So just look at it for that, and what you're going to turn in. That's really important. How many screenshots and how you name, because it takes you through the folder structure and the whole thing. You just won't call it module 3. You're going to call it module 9. Okay. All right. Alright, have a great week, and keep up the good work, guys. You guys are all doing good, and if you are behind, this is a good time to catch up, because you can probably get this done in a couple days, and not worry about it too much, and then try to catch up on the rest of your work that you need to turn in. Again, it's 4 points off per day, starting with the day that it's late. So if you do turn something in late, you know, it is what it is. Just do the best you can, and understand though, when we get to the end, Module 15, you cannot turn that in late. You get the grade what you get. If you don't turn it in, it's a 0. So understand that if you get too far behind, it'll kind of compound the issue, because Module 15 cannot be turned in late, and after that week, nothing else can be turned in. So keep that in mind, and keep on top of things and get as much stuff done as you can. You get done early, go back to your other modules, get those done, get those turned in immediately. Send me an email letting me know that if you did turn something in late, that you turned it in, so I can go back and go ahead and get it graded for you. Anyway, have a great week, and I'll see you next week in Module 10. Alright, have a good one.